Hey guys, Jesse from Fulla Strength and Conditioning here with a short live video. It's been a while since I've done these. It was probably back when I was doing my 90 fitness tips in 90 days. So it's been a while and I've had a bit of time to reflect on sort of what I've done last year in terms of the videos that I was putting out, speaking with current clients, what's been working for them, what they're struggling with, and also just a bit of Q&A with my private Facebook group as well. So I'll just wait for the audience to sort of filter through. If you are watching, let's give us a thumbs up, say hello. I'd love to see who's watching and listening and taking on this advice. But the topic of today is going to be about outcome-based decision making. So this is a way that you can actually make decisions and adjustments in a practical manner that's actually going to see you get results. A lot of times what can happen is if we're chasing a fitness result, let's just say it's lose 5 kilos, we don't have anything to actually gauge it against. So I'll run through a scenario that I spoke to one of my clients through our private Facebook group. I'll run through the scenario and I'll explain how we sort of overcame his trouble. Hey Michelle, how are you? Okay, 60-second break. I'll try to get as much info as I can. Otherwise, you can watch the replay. Don't stress. Cool. So one of my clients, his goal is more performance-based. So he wants to be able to run further, but he also wants to decrease his actual speed. So he wants to be able to run faster per kilometer. So let's just say, for example, he's currently running 6-minute kilometers. He wants to try and bring that number down. So basically he's covering more ground in less time. So for him, he wants to increase his volume in terms of running distance. He wants to be able to run a longer distance, but he also has a couple aesthetic goals. He's told me that the scales haven't shifted for a couple of weeks. He said he's been tracking everything on MyFitnessPal. He's reduced his alcohol intake significantly. And he's also been watching what he eats, but the scales haven't shifted. So there's a couple of things that we identified. What do we actually need to decrease weight? Okay, so one, yes, calories in versus calories out. We need to have a calorie deficit. So that basically means we're consuming less calories than our body needs, or we're consuming a level of calories, but we're performing exercise, which creates that negative energy output. Negative energy balance, sorry. So that's one thing that we identified straight away. We also need to be consistent to make sure that negative energy balance isn't just 1 day out of 7. It's 6-7 days. We want to be really consistent. So for him, he is aiming to run for a longer distance. And what we know about increasing our distance is that the intensity needs to decrease. So let's say he's currently running 5Ks. If he wants to get to 10 kilometers, what does he have to do? He needs to slow down so he can run those extra kilometers. So what's happening is, yes, the distance is increasing. He's running for a longer distance, but the intensity is actually decreasing. The heart rate's going lower, which takes him away from the aesthetics part of the goal. Yes, it's getting him closer to his performance goals of running that 15 or whatever it is kilometers, but in terms of aesthetics, he's getting further away from it. To lose body fat, we need the calories in versus calorie out component, and we also need an oxygen debt. So that's basically, it's called EPOC, energy post-exercise oxygen consumption. That's the feeling where you're huffing and puffing. You do a bout of exercise. Maybe you go for a sprint or you do a really heavy set at the gym. You're huffing and puffing. The heart rate's getting really high. That's creating an oxygen debt. Your body can't uptake enough oxygen that's required to keep doing that given task or exercise. That is not the case when we're doing long, steady state cardio. So if he's going from this duration at a higher intensity, the duration gets longer, the intensity gets lower, meaning he's getting further away from one of his goals. Now, what we identified is that the calorie component might be fine, but we also outlined that he needs to do resistance training. So this is the outcome-based decision making. If he's improving his performance component of his goals, which is fantastic, But the aesthetic component, we need to address and identify what to change. So for him, we had identified he needs to do some form of interval training. Something to get that big peak and trough of the heart rate, which once again creates the oxygen debt. This is essential, okay? You cannot get an oxygen debt from long steady state cardio. That's what enables you to run for that long period of time. So intervals is one thing, and the second thing is resistance training, okay? Weights and or body weight. You can do resistance training just with your own body weight. That's not a problem. That's not an issue. There will be a point where we need to load it or change the training so it becomes still challenging for the body. But those are the two things we identified. So, are we reaching performance goals? The answer was yes. Are we reaching aesthetic goals? The answer was no. So we look at it objectively. We are meeting one goal, but we're not meeting another. So, what can we do to get close to the goals? Interval training and weights. So there you have it, guys. Rather than just looking at, say, a goal and saying, I'm not getting there, and then just dropping your head and sticking your head in the sand, look at it objectively, okay? And it's easier said than done, I know, but try to look at the facts. What's in front of you? Is the weight changing on the scales, yes or no? Obviously, there's a number of factors that go into total weight, but that's one aspect. Some people use the scales as a marker for progress, which is fine. We also identified for this client that he needs to do some measurements, girth measurements, okay? And also, he wasn't a fan of it, but he's going to do it anyway, is he's going to do some before and after photos. So these things you need to do at the beginning so you have data and information to compare against. You can't just say, I think I'm getting better. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. Where is your hard evidence and data to back up whether what you're doing is effective or not? And that is what is classed as outcome-based decision-making. We're basing it on an outcome. Performance goals and aesthetics goals are the goals, or is the example that I've given you here today. So that's the nuts and bolts on outcome-based decision-making, guys. If you're watching and you have any questions, comment below. I know I get on a bit of a tangent. I'm just passionate. I can't help it. But it's something that I see quite often is people working really hard towards their goals, but they're just maybe not sure how to adjust them and where to go from where they currently are to where they want to be. And one of the things is just to take a step back, okay? Rather than, you know, you've got the binoculars on, you're really zeroed in, you've got tunnel vision. Step back, reassess, what are my goals? What have I achieved? What do I still want to achieve? And then what do I need to do in order to make those adjustments and see those results that I want? So that's it, guys. Outcome-based decision-making. Look at things objectively, get information, get data, get something where you can actually see, am I moving forwards? Am I standing still? Or am I going backwards? So there you have it, guys. I hope that has helped you in your quest towards your fitness goals. If it has, give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any struggles or something that's holding you back, comment below and I will do my best to get back to you with an outcome-based decision or piece of advice. So that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next video, whenever that may be. Thanks for watching. Bye.